massive save. I mean, you got it. Well done.
Good morning. Good morning. Coming to you live from the silly filter place in Perth, West Australia. And yeah, I wanted to hop on this morning. My my Wi-Fi was just being naughty yesterday. And I really wanted to crank out a live, and I started and I got cut off about 3 times. So I'm coming back today with some really good value. I think you're going to get something out of it. So tune in. Christine Burke here from Ignite Your Inner Bliss. I'm on an absolute mission to share as much value as I can on these lives. My daily igniters every day. And so here's the deal. I'll get right into it. You know, are you one of these people? And you're probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about. And you know, we're humans, we're social beings, and we don't want to be one of those people. But here's the deal. Most people are actually most people, and that's the word that I'm looking for. Most people. And I got to be honest, this live was inspired. Hey Troy, how you going, mate? How you going? How is sunny Queensland? I think you're in Queensland now. Hopefully it's warmer than it is here in Perth. Seriously, we've had the worst winter. Anyway, so, you know, don't get into the most people. Hey, Catherine, most people trap. And I got to say that this live was inspired by a guy that I follow. His name is John Melton. And just take the filter off there. And anyway, so here's the deal. Most people, who are they? Okay, the most people hate their jobs. Most people are unhappy most of the time. Most people are not in fulfilling relationships. Most people, once they finish their formal schooling, just stop learning. They choose to stop learning and they sort of sink into the status quo. Most people are afraid of taking risks. Most people are not open to learning new things. Most people do not get up and exercise on a daily, consistent basis. Most people will sacrifice. And I'm sorry if you're one of these people, but no judgments, but most people will sacrifice, for example, building some heavy-hitting dreams in order to watch reality TV shows just for half an hour at night, right? Most people do not believe that they can have what it is that they really, truly want in their lives, right? So, and that's reality. That's 80 to 90% of the population is most people. And here's the trap. The trap is, like, it sounds pretty crappy, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh shit, you know, that doesn't sound very like a great place to be in life, right? That, I'm just trying to get out of these filters. Cool. Hey, Kimberly. So yeah, it doesn't sound like a very, very, fulfilling, happy, kick-ass place to live in at all. But most people live in this state, like 80 to 90%. And it's because it's, hey, John, good to see you, mate. If you're calling in, I would love for you to like and share. If you know somebody who might get value from this, love to know if where you're, most people don't even realize. Absolutely, John. You know, if you want to add to the most people, like and comment. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So anyway, but it's a trap because the most people place of living is actually quite comfortable, right? And I talk about this a lot. You probably already know this already, but you know, physiologically we are wired to not be in any sort of discomfort or pain, right? So all those things I just talked about actually take some stepping up. They take some sacrifice of time, effort, brain power. They require getting out of that comfy zone, right? And the most people place is actually quite comfortable, right? Which is why most people live there, right? So how do we get out, right? And it's like, this is the thing. What's the point of talking about all of this if we don't have a way of getting out? And these are not new things. These are probably things that you've heard about before. But number one is stop taking advice from people in your life who are not where you want to be, right? So you know, sometimes we add a lot of weight and credence to things that people say, and they're actually not anywhere where we want to be. Maybe, as David Wood said, they're broke, unhappy people, and we are taking advice from them to heart, right? Or, you know, maybe it's somebody who does have a lot of money, but it's not the lifestyle that you want. Or maybe it's not the way that somebody conducts themselves, but yet for some reason we let ourselves sometimes take advice from these people, right? So that's the first thing. Stop taking advice from people who aren't inspired, who aren't stepping into their greatness, who aren't you know, growing is huge, right? People who are growing is a big deal, because somebody might not be where they want to be. I'm certainly not. I'm really not. Like, I got a long way to go, just being honest. But the thing that sets me apart from most people is that I'm growing every single day and getting better and better and better, right? So that when I wake up 5 years from now, 2 years from now, a year from now, I'm not going to be here, right? Whereas most people, it's upsetting. They wake up 5 years and go, oh my God, where did the last 5 years just go? Where have they gone? What have I done? Oh my God, I should have, would have, could have, right? Okay, so number one is that. Number two is start changing your daily routine, right? So, you know, people say don't sweat the small stuff. Yes, do sweat the small stuff. And I don't mean small stuff like if somebody does this to you, but I mean sweat the small stuff. It matters if you get up and work out in the morning. It matters if you spend 15 minutes reading an empowering book. It matters if you turn the TV off like 2 or 3 times a week to do something else. It matters. It all matters. So start sweating the small stuff by tuning in to what your daily routine is, because daily routine is where it all starts, right? If you do what you do and you're going to get what you're getting, absolutely, John, absolutely. If you keep doing what you're doing and keep thinking about where you're at right now, you'll just get more of that. Absolutely. So that's number two. And number three is, I would say, I mean, there's heaps floating around in my head, but get up early. Like, you know, it's taken me a while to make this a real firm habit, but every morning I get up, my alarm goes off at 4:45, and I don't always get out of bed at 4:45. You know, listen to Mel Robbins, her 5-second thing is awesome. Find her on Facebook. It's really, really good. She's got a really inexpensive product you can buy for a miracle morning routine. Yeah, Troy's a PT. He'll tell ya. You're an early gym goer, aren't you, Troy? You tell it. Preach it. So I would say just start setting your alarm like 15 minutes, 30 minutes earlier, because here's the magic in that. The early bird does get the worm. Absolutely. And that's what I was just going to say, John. The early bird does get the worm.